Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Michael Carbone. I'm a business and immigration attorney in Staten Island, New York. Today, I want to talk about your responsibilities as a sponsor under USCIS Form I-864 or the Affidavit of Support. Now, before I dive into this topic, if you have any questions or you want to start a conversation, please drop a comment below. Otherwise, if you'd like to set up a formal legal consultation with me, visit us at carboneattorneys.com. We have a button in the top right corner of our website. Click it, fill it out, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So when it comes to the Affidavit of Support, this is a crucial component of any adjustment application. So if you are acting as a sponsor for your parent, your spouse, your child, as a part of that green card process, you will need to file what's called an Affidavit of Support. So the Affidavit of Support is basically a financial contract with the United States government, basically agreeing to financially support your relative that you are petitioning for. So this means that your duty is to ensure that your relative does not fall into poverty and basically need government assistance. So what are some eligibility requirements in order to be able to be a sponsor on the Affidavit of Support? At a minimum, you need to be 18 years old, you need to be either a US citizen or legal permanent resident, and you must have income that is above 125% of the poverty guidelines based on your household size. Another important component here is if you do not make enough income, you can use assets to supplement your income and hit that 125% threshold. Now, if you can't even meet that with income and assets, you will need a joint sponsor in that situation, and the joint sponsor will need to meet all of the same requirements as the initial sponsor that's petitioning for your relative. So what are some risks by being a sponsor on the Affidavit of Support? Number one, if your relative falls below the poverty guideline levels and they do require government assistance, the US government can sue you in litigation to recover that money. Number two, if you happen to file for bankruptcy, your responsibilities under the Affidavit of Support extend beyond bankruptcy. So you cannot have that responsibility discharged in a bankruptcy proceeding. Lastly, for any amount of financial assistance that your relative receives from the government, you will be required to pay that back on their behalf. So this includes SNAP, Medicaid, SSI, any government assistance of that nature, you could be required and usually will be required to pay that money back. So when do your responsibilities end under the Affidavit of Support? So here's a list of all of the ways that your responsibilities will end. Number one, if your relative becomes a US citizen. Number two, if they work 40 quarters of work, which equals out to about 10 years. Number three, if your relative permanently leaves the United States and does not return. Number four, if your relative is deported and then they return to the United States and are sponsored by a new person. And number five, if they pass away, your responsibilities will end. Another important note under the Affidavit of Support is that this obligation does extend through divorce proceedings. So if you sponsored your spouse and you are later divorced, you will still be required to ensure their financial stability. And this holds true even if there are prenuptial or postnuptial agreements trying to contract around this requirement. This stands throughout all of that, and you will still be obligated unless your spouse meets one of the 5 ways that I just mentioned that would end your responsibility as a sponsor. One final question is whether you can withdraw as a sponsor in this process. Now, you can, however, if the green card is approved, you can no longer withdraw. So ultimately, if you're looking to withdraw that responsibility, it has to be done before the green card is granted to your relative. So ultimately, signing the affidavit of support, while required in this process, is a really important responsibility. So hopefully you've stuck to the end of this video and you understand what it means to be a sponsor in this process. So that's it. That's the video for today. If you like this video and you want to see more, please like, subscribe, and I'll keep making them.